Hey there everyone, it's BTMQ back here again with another not Forza. I nearly said it again. Horizon Forbidden West. Um, yeah, so we're just carrying on from where we last left off. Um, I did be a little bit naughty, and I did do some crafting without being on stream, and I upgraded the blasting to max and the hunter bow. Not quite. I need one burrower sound shell. So that will be the sack on its chest of the burrower. That's cool. You can have set yourself tasks and jobs. I did upgrade the armor. Bone, all that stuff. Now let's see, do we have any boar? Here's one. Squirrel, we need a squirrel. There should be machines over here. I doubt I can get a bird. Oh, is that a fox? No, that's a raccoon, isn't it? There's some squirrel bone. We needed squirrel bone. Some boar bone. We needed that too. Now, do we have any more animals? There's another squirrel. I'm a bit surprised, even if the headshot should be an insta-kill. Where'd Mr. Squirrel run off to? A pigeon, eh? Okay, it's just wild meat. Is that our squirrel we were hunting before? Is that a rat? It's kind of sad that we can't collect our arrows back. That's alright. So let's upgrade some more of our pouches. Alright. That's a bit weird. Quick save. Alright, now where did I want to go? So there's this. And then I'll go work my way there. And I'll probably investigate this camp. And I want to go to all of these sites. Or should I be a bit more grey, just so I know if I've been to them or not.
Cauldrons could teach me how to override these machines. But where would they be? Could set that machine on fire.
So I broke that piece off. And it gave us the hunter bow upgrade part that we needed. So I'm gonna go back and see if we can upgrade that right now. There'll probably be something I'm missing. And I don't have enough metal shards. I've only got 43? Wow. Alright. That's odd. I didn't think I'd have so little. I'll just come over here first.
I wonder how much snow is gonna pile up.
I was at an unknown burrower site. Alright, how close am I to this thing? I still don't understand why it says unknown burrower site. I don't know how to... Oh, pardon me. I don't know how to make it so it's known.
There's an old watchtower at the top of that cliff. Looks like the path up broke a long time ago. I'm gonna have to climb. This pigment would work well on armor.
Hmm.
There we go.
Oh no! The hell did I do that for? That was lucky as.
Secret ingredient for someone, I'll bet.
Oh shit. Why did it do that?
Some kind of device. The metal reflects the sun. To send a signal?
Oh. Why the hell did it do that? Okay, so I just pull down to go down instead of having to press circle to let go. It's not letting me drop down. How the hell do I let go and drop? I'll just jump off like that. Ah, the climbing mechanics. Maybe it's because of the stuff I've changed.
looks like some kind of lens. Guess I'll keep it for later. Could blow up that canister with a fire arrow.
Okay, that's all the charges gone. I'm going to go back to the workbench over here. And we should be able to upgrade the bow. cool. That was a decent upgrade. Alright, what's next? I wanted to come over here, didn't I? It's a little bit disorientating to know where I'm actually wanting to be. So I think that's my waypoint I've put down. And that is the path.
Cardia's fire against it.
So you seem to not get as much shards and equipment when you get the stealth kills. You get more from open combat kills, which is kind of weird. Because you've got rid of them cleanly. Oh, pardon me. Is it? Oh no, that's a pig. I was about to say, or boar. I was about to say, is that like a bear? Should really be maybe a one-shot kill on the smaller or earlier game animals. I don't know why it says unknown charger site. I was literally there, you guys watched me. And it discovered the burrower site, that burrower site I was just at. It's probably something useful up here. Maybe not. That's a bit disappointing. But let's keep tracking inwards. Alright, it is a dead zone. That's a bit sad. I can't do anything with that, won't let me. Alright, next up. That's our starter campfire we went to. That's right, I climbed up here. Yeah, I climbed up. That will be our next spot. Blue light shining, so there's some... There they are.
You can get a strong color out of this.
I was lucky.
It's training. Yeah.
I don't know if I'm meant to be in here. I don't know where that errand guy's last known location is. That's got the eye on it, so it's location 1. So that's our primary objective solve. I have a feeling though he might be in here somewhere. That stuff must be even lower underground. That's a bit weird. Okay, so I need to come back in here at some stage. It'll be a breather, so I can breathe underwater. That's what it is, I remember she has one. So I probably shouldn't go much further in here. Ah, here we go. the same time, I want to go to this fire horn spot.
Looks like a landsman with scarier antlers.
Is that water? Purged water canister. Yeah.
Should try something other than fire. That ought to help.
Now, where's that body? There it is. I don't know what it was that was over there, but I'm going to go back to it and just get rid of it. There it is.
Machine doesn't like fire. I can't override that machine. But I could learn if there's a cauldron out here.
I think I had a dead scrapper somewhere over here. Yeah. Alright, let's carry on.
It's down!
Okay, so it changed its... So those bigger ones can't be taken down that easy. Which I guess makes sense. Inventory. What can I apply a coil to? Impact or explosive damage. Wish there was a button to just... just go like, got all. Lens of Dawn. Now there's a few of those. I wonder what that does. It reflects damage back, perhaps? Oh great, the bloody screen went off again. So the coils can't go into that, the one that I got. Great. Oof. That went weird suddenly.
Fire could hurt it.
And I probably could have blown them up with this. Okay, maybe not. They look like explosive barrels. Yeah, picky, 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 picky. Oh, hello.
Gemstone. It's green like blaze, but it's hard and shiny. Wonder if merchants would be interested.
If it's shiny, they'll be interested. Probably check that out first before coming to this one. Or it should just show me on the compass where it is. I don't care about it leading me up the path, because I'd rather just go traversing across the land, searching far and wide.
This will make a good dye. I don't think I can get past them. Guess I should leave it for now.
Look at that, I got past them. The power of jumping.
Made it. And there's another one of those devices. A lens. Guess I'll figure out what to do with it later.
There's probably something else I have to do with that other part, but now, if I remember about it. Like supply crates. And other stuff.
I'll mark this spot in my focus. Come back later.
Metal flowers, I remember those. They were in the first game, I'm pretty sure. Oh, pardon me. Damn. Okay, that's good. It tells me that I've still got shit to do.
There's another watchtower on that ridge across the valley. Looks like a long climb to get up there. Machine. It must be a bristleback. Maybe Erend took it down? Ground soaked with acid. Did the bristlebacks do this? I can climb up this cliff. Might be able to reach the tower I saw at the top.
Oh, you silly bitch. That works. There's no way to drop for some reason. Useful for making dyes. I don't see any of those tall necks wandering about. So every single one of these towers have one of those lenses, I'm guessing, and they use them to communicate with each other. To do with when there's some threats or something. So I'm guessing once I have them all together I can make a special weapon. Hopefully a laser beam weapon, that would be awesome. Because I know the Thunder Jaws have like a laser beam weapon. No, why did it do that? Too many buttons being the same, being assigned to the same thing. Is what causes stuff like that to happen. Without any sort of intelligent contextual stuff
I still got a ways to go to reach the top.
To make it maybe know what you're wanting to do. If you're wanting to launch yourself off of the wall, like what happened there, you should have to look behind you and then press the button. I'm pulling down on the stick because I want to go down.
I'll save this for a dyer.
Come on, drop. Maybe I should do a different button. Or climbing. Maybe square. Yeah, now it's dropping off because there's too many things assigned to the same button that it's not smart enough to know that I want to jump off. So now if I go back on there, I press square, nothing happens, but it's just not contextual, it's just, I think the contextual is the word I'm thinking of. Like, if I'm on a surface, I should have to look behind me, and then I can press it and do that, and that's what it does. But it's also the same thing when I'm like this, I can just press it, and it will jump off. But now that I've swapped the buttons, I just gotta try and remember that. Because now when I press circle, she does what I want her to do. Or even if they make it so like you press and hold circle. But I'm getting there with sussing out some of these controls. Because I didn't like default. Actually, I think it was triangle, if I remember right. But probably what I've put it to, square, is better, because it's like a, I guess maybe a quick maneuver, and I've got square to be dodge.
Here we are. Looks like there's another tiny lens. I'll tuck this away for now.
It doesn't look like there's any way of getting there. What is it? Nope.
Wood and crumbling stone. Hope it holds up.
Alright, anything else around here to discover? I didn't go up here. I doubt there's anything up there because when we went up here, where was it? Up here, there was nothing. It was pointless. There's another tower. So we're here. I don't see any over here. Let's go to the city. And I have some skills to put on. I don't have any for the Machine Master. How do I upgrade the skills? Probably with a cauldron. Recovery speed, that's good. Wait, did I do that one?
That must be chain scrape. Drew said I could get my bow upgraded in there. I'd be able to tinker with my other gear, too. Could try using acid ammo. This'll be in my stash when I need it.
That's the first time I've heard that, and apparently I got patched. Because she was saying that way too often. The hell was that noise?
Outlander approaching. Is that the Savior? Wanna come in, Savior?
Welcome to Chainscrape, Savior.
Open up, guys. Jorv's orders.
Good enough for me.
By the forge. Bet
Petra?
Aloy, what are you doing here? About time there was something worth looking at in this dump.
It's nice to see you too.
And not a moment too soon.
I think she was from earlier in the first game. Like when you
Damn
first get to the
brewery's the only thing I can count on in this
deserty
place.
area.
Yeah, I heard. Machines, work stoppage.
Oh, those are just the latest malfunctions. Chain Scrape's always been a few tools short of a kit. And right there is the biggest tool of all.
Our land, not our problem. The bristlebacks are everybody's problem.
Roland?
You've heard of him,
Yeah.
but he's a story best told over a cold beer.
Petra. I'm just passing through. I'm headed west.
Oh,
There's an embassy at Barren Light I need to make happen, and then I keep moving.
ah, of course. Bigger gears to grind. Well, Flame Hair, good to see you. You've got to move on.
Petra.
But if you want a cold beer and a few laughs with an old friend, come find me at the brewery. Your choice.
Do both. Get drunk as a skunk.
Well, this Olvan guy sounds like trouble. Maybe Petra could use some support. But first things first, I need to find that workbench and upgrade my bow.
West. Hunting goods, unknown, Stitcher outfits. Machine strike, whatever that is.
Shop looks closed.
Yep.
Can I still use the workbench?
I ain't gonna stop you.
Thotnar stayed in their sacred land.
To work with a hammer in
How
his
goes
face.
it,
What can I
Hammerhead?
do you for? I bet you've got
Till
the
Alvin
time.
blows that whistle, no one's working it.
Already upgraded to the max, y'all. Although I can upgrade my outfit now to the max, which is good. So that's that maxed.
Yeah.
Doesn't look any different.
An awesome woman with a poem sounds like a great idea.
No weaves. Impact tear, melee, explosive, adhesive. What's that build up speed? Fire, frost, shock, purge water. Acid, plasma. Oh, special gear was there. I'll be the extra lenses, yeah.
One hammer isn't gonna kill you.
Is that my stash? Okay, so that's a game piece. Like chess, I'm assuming. What's that dude? Let me talk to you, or I'll just come in and steal all your shit. Well, well, well. Go to the unknown first. Potion Master.
How do you do?
Hey, Milduff. Milduff. Took some of your stew last time I went into the wilds. Kept me going for a week. Felt like I could have put a strider in a sleeper hold.
Enjoy it while it lasts.
Sounds like you're serving up some impressive provisions here.
Not again. You can have the discount too, but you'll have to come back later.
I think you have me confused with someone else.
Oven didn't send you?
No.
Oh, my apologies. It's just that his minions won't stop pestering me. Now I've even worn out my special grill. Since I'm in the midst of a crisis, perhaps you could skip to what it is you wanted?
Some of your food?
Of course.
Are Ulvin's people causing you problems?
Oh, yeah. They constantly demand my best, but the equipment I need to make my signature dishes isn't built for batch cooking. And don't get me started on the Ulvin discount they feel so entitled to.
And if you refuse?
I make meals, no trouble.
How did you end up in Chainscrape?
Heard about a new and upcoming town at the edge of the frontier. Where there's a town, there's a tavern. I was in need of work. So I got myself out here and started cooking. Some of these people had never tasted proper boars and berries stew before. Anyway, next thing I knew, people kept coming back. Guess they liked my food. Or the ale.
Your last customer mentioned your cooking really kept him going out in the wild. Where I'm headed, I could use some of that.
I would be happy to oblige, especially since you have the decency to ask pleasantly. But my special groove griddle is no more. Without it, I can't cook any of my signature dishes. I hate to think what'll happen when I'm forced to refuse Ulvin or his goons. Even if I already had the right ingredients, there's nothing I can do. Unless you can source me a temporary replacement?
What do you need?
For the ingredients, a few pieces of decent wild meat, and I'd say a big handful of bitter leaf stems. That'll do. As for the griddle, a corrugated metal panel might suffice until I can have a new one forged. You'd likely find one in a scrounger pile if you follow the river to the northeast. Don't worry, I'll clean it first. You'll have no issue finding boars and bitter leaf on your way. Assuming you're as much a hunter-gatherer as your clothing suggests.
Thanks, Milduff. I'll keep
I've
an
already
eye
got that stuff, probably.
That's what gratitude sounds like.
And don't let anyone push you around, okay?
If you say so.
Damn, I don't have the scrounger. Wow. I'll activate the campfire first and this quest, and I'll teleport
Already got
myself.
enough meat and bitter root. Just need to grab a metal panel from the stranger.
You know what we need? Brothers, we are on the same side here, Olga. The bristlebacks threaten us.
I know everyone here, so you must be new.
We all know
Welcome.
the card who let the bristlebacks.
What do you want, Olvund? Some kind of payment?
My dear magistrate, you think I can be bought? If you want that whistle blown, all you have to do is have your soldiers remove the bristlebacks and sign the concession decree. Face it, what other choice do you have?
Hi.
Savior, what auspicious timing. Might we discuss a matter of importance to the Sundom?
We might. Later.
Very well. I shall be waiting.
So, the savior herself, Walloper of Derval, gutter of youth.
Maybe.
I've heard many tales of your beauty and heroics, my fierce lady warrior. Olvund Freeholder, at your service. So, what could have dragged you away from the fine silks and wine of Meridian to this smudge of a settlement? Your saviorly attention must be needed elsewhere.
I'm here for the embassy and...
The embassy? Why, by the forge. Ah. Greater gears for greater matters. Guess that means you'll be moving on.
Once I've dealt with any problems around here that need my saviorly attention.
Ah, the bristlebacks, of course. Got to get rid of them if you want that embassy to take place. Well, best get to it, hey? And off you go.
Not so fast. You don't seem to have a high opinion of the magistrate?
Well, I refuse to play nice to some fancy-robed parchment pusher when my fellow laborers are being bullied, intimidated, and taken advantage of.
How noble of you.
Noble? Ha! Born with a hammer in hand, I was. Nobody handed me anything or dropped opportunity into my lap. Everything I've achieved, I've done on my own.
And where is this hammer now?
The, burden of leadership forced me to set it aside. The Carja risk nothing, while demanding that good Osseram gamble with their lives out there. Someone had to step up and say no more.
You ordered the work stoppage?
Indeed I did. We're laborers, not soldiers. Until the Carja clean up their mess and give us the fair deal we deserve, I'm not risking Osseram lives.
Fair deal? You mean your concession decree?
It's not my decree. It's on behalf of all the good Osseram laborers of this land who do all the back-breaking work, while only the Carja reap the rewards. All we're asking for is the ability to share in this prosperity for a land worked by the people, for the people.
Right. And just how much would be your share?
Only an amount appropriate to my contributions to this community, of course.
If Chainscrape is on Carja land, shouldn't a Carja be in charge? Who appointed you?
The sensibilities of good Osseram folk, of course. You think a Carja can head this whole venture? Ah! The magistrate can barely make the trek from Barren Light without losing a few screws.
So you have no real authority then? People only follow you because you say so. Loudly.
Anyone who has followers has authority. I've been with Chainscrape from the beginning. I mean, I'm practically its founder, and its honest folk know I'm indispensable to its success.
You said you founded Chainscrape. Somehow I doubt that.
Practically founded, I said. I alone saw its potential when it was just a smattering of tents in Barren Light's shadow. I invested in the mine, convinced some friends back home to do the same, and here we are. You could say Chainscrape is what it is thanks to me.
Oh, so you're not just standing around and profiting off everyone else?
Not at all. Sure, I make a little return on my investment here and there, but my main priority, as it was from the beginning, is to look after the well-being of these honest, working Osram.
Where's the whistle?
Right in the middle of town, but with the threat out there, I'm not endangering innocent Osram lives.
I'm going to clear out the bristlebacks. And when I'm done, this valley is going to get moving.
If that's what it takes. Until then, I'll keep looking after the safety of these good folk.
Just be ready to blow the whistle. Better see what that Carja magistrate wanted. I bet he's in the tavern.
Pardon me.
You wanted to speak to me?
Well, you know better than anyone it's a dangerous world out there, and not just against machines. Name's O'Dirk. This here's my
What a
training.
weird armor.
Best place to practice close combat this side of the Forbidden West. Say, I wonder who'd win in a fight. You, the savior of Meridian, champion of the East, or the Enduring, master of the West.
Who?
The Enduring, a legendary Tenakth fighter, the master of masters. I've heard the Tenakth have training pits just like this one. It's how the warriors get so fierce, see? And only the very best from the pits get to train with the Enduring.
So, to find the Enduring, I should look for these training pits if I'm ever out that way?
You'll have to go far if you do. The Tenakth are split into 3 clans. 3 clans, 3 capitals, 3 training pits. My guess is you'd have to beat all of them if you want to train with the Enduring. If the Tenakth don't kill you on sight, that is. But that's a far spark in the wind. As for right now, I also offer challenges to test your fighting skill.
Who would I be fighting exactly? You?
Well, I know you're the savior and all, but you have to beat all the others first to challenge me. Rules are rules. We only use dual blades and practice arrows, mind. These drunken fools would run themselves through otherwise. You'll have to leave everything but your spear and practice arrows at the gate. But I'll look after your gear, not to worry. So, what do you say? Up for some training?
Maybe.
That's what I like to hear.
Fate has brought us together yet again. Come on! Yeah! Sisters!
You think your spear can deal with that armor? Use attacks to energize your spear. Then hit your opponent with a heavy power attack to blast the armor off.
I kind of like those movements, actually.
That energy doesn't last forever. Shoot the glowing part of your opponent before the energy. That spear can give you the edge in battle. Keep energizing it, and then your enemies.
Triggering those energy blasts should help you vanquish your opponents.
Ignoring me again?
Savior, over here.
I can use your insights later on.
Where's that lady? She said she would be here.
Savior, thank you for taking the time, and my condolences that you had to endure Ulvund's bloviating.
I've dealt with worse. It sounds like he's really trying to put you over the barrel.
The idea that the Karja purposely let Bristlebacks into the Daunt, it's completely absurd. But the louder and longer he says it, the more support he'll get for his damned concession decree.
How did the Bristlebacks get into the Daunt?
No one knows for sure. The first report of them came from west of the quarry. But unless they have wings I don't know about, I don't see how they could have come over the mountains.
No other way in.
The only way I know about is Barren Light. Look, if you can get to the bottom of this, I can offer a considerable bounty in return. Help me shut Ulvund up.
What is this concession decree that Ulvund wants?
He wants the Sundom to designate portions of the Daunt as Oseram holdings. Only the portions, mind you, that produce any value.
Let me guess. Because he stands to profit somehow?
Exactly. With the Daunt under Oseram law, he could secure more investment for their numerous ventures.
He can't get those investments without the concession?
No. Not while there's a chance the Sundom could revoke their access. Hence, why the concession is so important to him. And why blaming the Karja for the Bristlebacks, no matter how absurd, works in his favor.
How does blaming the Karja for the Bristlebacks help Ulvund get his concession?
Look around. This may be the Sundom, but Chainscrape is all gears and rust and bad ale. Claiming that the Karja loosed the Bristlebacks in order to intimidate Oseram laborers into obedience. Well, let's just say no one here has forgotten the atrocities of the Mad Sun King. And with the Bristlebacks bringing work in the valley to a halt, Ulvund has plenty of time to pick at barely healed wounds.
And if the Oseram refuse to work, unless the concession is signed, you won't have a choice.
Correct. The reconstruction of Barren Light must continue.
How did you get...
I asked for the posting, believe it or not. Overseeing the entire valley on behalf of the Sun King? It was an honor. Is an honor, I mean.
But your job would be a lot easier without someone like Ulvund blasting hot air all the time?
Ulvund's not going anywhere. He's been around longer than I have. Even fancies himself the founder of Chainscrape. I'll find a way to live with him. I have to.
You said the Bristlebacks were first spotted what?
Yes, according to one terrified laborer, said the ground trembled before they came charging down the hillside. He took off and ran all the way here.
Good place to start looking, then.
If you learn the truth, maybe Ulvund will stop blaming the Karja for every... And maybe then, he'll actually focus on
Now where's that lady?
Hey, Lloyd. Change your mind about that brew?
Even the savior.
Come for that beer after all, eh? Here, sit down. Get a pint in her hand. Wasn't expecting you to swing by.
Since when do I do what's expected?
Ha! There's that spark. Fire and spit.
Fire and spit.
Ew.
That's a blast from the bellows. Won't fix the forge, but at least I can forget about my troubles for a while.
Like what?
Take your pick. We got bodies to bury from the bristlebacks, the work stoppage, Olvin grating the gears about his concession decree. Hey! Weapons off the table! Ah, don't listen to me. Nothing a cold brew and knocking some heads together can't fix eventually.
So the bristlebacks in the Daunt. Where did they come from?
That's the thing. No one rightly knows. They just showed up one day, rampaging around the valley like they exploded out of a forge.
Maybe they did. There's a
Lost
forge
some
up
good
there.
people. But I heard talk of some vanguards trying to take them down.
Did they come through here?
Stopped by briefly for supplies. Ulvund was none too pleased. Won't be able to crank it to his advantage once the bristlebacks are gone.
But how could bristlebacks and the Daunt help Ulvund?
2 words. Concession decree. Since no one knows where the bristlebacks came from, Ulvund has taken to blaming the Karja for them. He's hoping to dig up enough old resentments to get a strike going until the concession's signed. This is just his latest attempt. He's been trying to rile up the workers since the day he rolled into town.
And people actually believe him?
Lots of folks suffered at the hands of the Mad King during the Red Raids. Give him half a reason, they'll blame the Karja for anything.
Damn Karja slavers.
I thought you'd be back in Freeheap.
Well, after the big battle at Meridian, I went back. But realized it was running smooth. Didn't need me. Heard about the rebuilding out at Barren Light. Figured they could use another hammer. Been scraping by ever since.
You could always leave.
And go back east? Nah. I ain't one to leave a lit forge. Besides, someone's gotta be a squeaky wheel for the workers around here.
So about Ulvund.
Around here, everything's about Ulvund.
How'd he end up in charge?
He got here early, like a squirrel smelling a fat nut. He knew rebuilding Barren Light would need stone and timber. So he jangled purses all over Mainspring, getting investors to front claims on anything in the Daunt that might be worth a damn. Thing is, all the bankers back home know that this is Karja land, and the Sun King can revoke those claims at any time. That's why he's desperate for the magistrate to sign off on a concession decree.
This concession decree, what is it exactly? And how would it help Ulvund?
It's pig diddle, that's what.
A writ that would put all Osram claims in the Daunt under Osram law, even though they're on Karja land. It would mean that any existing ore, stone, and timber claims couldn't be revoked by the Karja. No more risk, no more hesitation for investors back in the claim to pour in the shards and expand their business. And since Ulvund has a stake in all those claims, it would make him richer than a scrapper in a junk heap. Not to mention Chainscrape would become an Osram municipality, so he could buy enough votes to call himself an elderman. He's a sly old badger, I'll give him that. Figures if he keeps up the pressure, eventually the magistrate will sign.
Doesn't seem like there's anything wrong with that.
Well, I have to be going. Thanks for the drink, Petra. I'm glad I stopped by.
Anytime, Flamehair.
Come to revel in some strike, sister? Let me set the board.
I was just passing by.
First timer, huh? Don't worry about it. I'll go easy on you. You got any pieces?
No.
Well, aren't you in luck then? I got an extra set, a Tanakh original straight out of the Forbidden West. Sit. I'll run you through it in a hot spark. I'll give you something special if you win it on my boards, too.
I've got a special piece. Ooh, jeez. Two-player strategy game played by the tribes of Forbidden West. Each player owns different boards and favors a particular set of machine pieces. Defeat them all and become the ultimate strike master in the West. Whenever an opponent's machine is destroyed, whether by your hand or theirs, its value is added to your pool of victory points. So acquire 7 victory points before your opponent, or destroy all their machines to claim victory. At the beginning of each game, both players choose a set of pieces to play off. Each player then places those pieces within the 2 rows closest to them, so like chess. The owner of the board chooses who goes first. The game proceeds by turns from there on out. Mobilizing machine piece. Each turn, a player can mobilize 2 machine pieces. Each of them can only be used once per turn. If a player has only 1 machine piece, they are allowed to use it twice. A player can choose to move a machine to a different terrain or attack first. Mobilized machines do not need to attack but must move in order to complete a turn. Sprinting. A player can move a machine on one terrain beyond their normal movement range if they choose not to attack an opposing machine or are too far away to land an attack. This is called sprinting. Overcharging. A player can decide to sacrifice a machine's health in order to attack an opposing machine or move after they've depleted all their possible actions. Once the player has mobilized 2 machine pieces, their turn can end. Standard boards made up of an 8 by 8 grid of up to 6 different terrains. Each type of terrain influences the machine's combat power. -2 power is a chasm, -1 power is a marsh terrain, grassland, 0. +1 power is forest, +2 is hill, +3 is a mountain. Chasms are only accessible by airborne machines. Machine name, type, victory points, piece image, armored and weak points, skill, attack power, attack range, movement range, health, active effects. Melee always attacks the first machine in its attack range. Ram takes first machine's attack range and knocks it backwards. It will then move on to the terrain left behind by the opposing machine. Swoop always takes first machine within its attack range and moves next to it. Gains +1 combat power on all terrains and can ignore all terrain penalties. Alright, I'm just gonna go back and do it.
Alright, let's start off simple. The Tanakh like to say that Machine Strike is a game of pure strategy. We each get a set of pieces. Each piece represents a kind of machine, and each machine is worth a different number of victory points. And to win the game, you'll need to gain 7 victory points by destroying the opponent's machines. It can be tricky remembering the details of every machine, so we use these notes to keep track of them. You see that number on the top right corner? That there is how many victory points you'll get for destroying that machine. Notes also tell you how far a piece can move, how powerful their attacks are, the distance they can strike from,
one place,
and of course, their health. Okay, that's enough for now. Let's just play. I'll explain the rest as we go. I own the board, so I get to choose who goes first. Since this is your first time, I'll let you go. Usually you get to choose which pieces to set on the board, but this will do for now. Pick up that machine piece to your right, and move it forward. And remember, each machine can only move a certain distance. Take a look at your notes if you need a reminder. Easy enough, huh? Now, you get to move 2 machines each round, so go ahead and pick a second machine. Perfect. There's not much else to do for now, so just end your turn. we're forging onwards. Let me move my pieces here. And we're back to you. This time, why don't you try attacking one of my pieces? Try with that machine on your right first. Now move the piece close enough to, when performing an attack, you'll be testing your machine's combat power against the opponent's. A machine and its own attack power. This board only has grassland terrain, which has no effect on a machine's combat power. And your current machine has 2 points of attack power. So in total, your machine's combat power equals 2 points. Since my machine isn't the one attacking, it has 0 points of attack power. And just like your machine, it's not affected by grassland terrain. So right now, the difference in combat power between the two machines is 2 points. This means your machine can do 2 points of damage to my machine. Did you get all that? Knew you were a smart one. Finish up by attacking my machine. Not pulling any punches, huh? Now grab that second machine of yours. See how your machine can't move close enough to attack mine? You can make your machine sprint. That lets it move 1 space further. Try it out. Downside to sprinting is that your machine can no longer attack. Now, some players like to take a risk and overcharge their machine in cases like this. Overcharging lets you attack after a sprint, but it will damage your machine's health by 2 points.
Which means I die.
So use at your own discretion. Let's try doing that now so you can see what I mean. That's about it for your turn then. Now, I'll let you in on a neat trick. That machine of yours, the one closest to me, grab a hold of it. Same as in the wilds, machines have both armored points and weak points. You can see them marked on the pieces. Blue shows where their armor is thickest. Hit them there, and you'll do some damage, but not a lot. Now, red shows the machine's weak points. Hit those, and you'll deal a mighty blow. Here, let me show you. Rotate that piece so your machine faces mine. Now let that machine have it. Off the board she goes, and there's your first victory points. You don't have 7 of them yet, so let's keep going. Your machine attacked mine, but hasn't moved yet. Go ahead and move down. You've already attacked a machine and moved your piece. But if you overcharge your machine, you can attack a second time. And by the look of your machine's health, you'd be sacrificing your piece to defeat mine. But sometimes, that can be a good thing. Overcharge your machine to attack mine a second time, and I'll show you what I mean. Ain't that a thrill? Now, because your machine was knocked out at the same time as mine, we both get the victory points our machines are worth. Good news is, since you're the one attacking, you're gonna receive your victory points before I do. Which means you can reach the coveted 7 victory points first. That's why sometimes losing a piece can be the best way to end a game in your favor. Now, you'll notice you didn't get quite up to 7 victory points this time, but you did destroy all my pieces. That means you're the winner! That wasn't so hard, was it? Just remember to always check for the best terrain to attack from. You'd be surprised the advantage you can gain over an opponent like that. I know it saved my behind in a game or 2.
I'll try and remember that.
Oh, before I forget, these are all my spare pieces. I want the Savior of Meridian to have them. It's a small set to be sure, but it should be enough to get you in on any strike games you find out there. You might even fancy looking out for them strike carvers. They've got all kinds of unique pieces that can turn a game in your favor, though they'll need the right materials to craft you one. Or you might find them in the wilds if you're lucky. You know, I've lost my fair share of pieces after a night of machine hunting or brew hopping. No need to thank me. Always a pleasure to help out new strike players. Now, if you feel like playing a real game, I've got plenty of other boards. I could even teach you a few more tricks if you're up for it.
Thanks. I'll think about it.
Bristleback strike piece.
I knew I'd make a strike player out of you yet. How about this time I tell you how to use a board's terrain to your advantage? This one's got all the different terrains you can encounter in a game of Strike. Knowing when and how to use them can mean the difference between victory and defeat. Terrain mainly affects your machine's combat power. As you know, when fighting an opponent's machine, you compare its combat power to yours. The higher your machine's combat power, the more damage you can do. So finding the right terrain is an essential strategy for overpowering your opponent. Here, I'll show you. Grab that piece to your left and move to attack my machines. Now let's take a look at your machine's combat power. Combat power is the sum of a machine's attack power and the value of the terrain it's standing on. Since your machine is attacking, it's using its 2 points of attack power. It's also standing on forest terrain with a value of 1 point. Add those together, and your machine has 3 points of combat power. My machine is standing on grassland terrain with a value of 0 points. It's also not attacking, which means their attack points aren't in play. So my combat power is 0. This means your machine can do 3 points of damage. Go ahead and test it out. There you go. Now, choosing the right terrain doesn't just improve your offense. It can also help defend your machines from attack. Grab your other piece and place it in front of my second machine. Since your machine is attacking, it's using its 2 points of attack power. It's standing on grassland terrain. This terrain has a value of 0. This means your machine's combat power adds up to 2 points. My machine can't use their attack powers since they're defending their position. But they have the higher ground. They're standing on forest terrain, which is worth 1 point. This means my combat power adds up to 1 point. Now, the front of my machine is colored blue. This means that the spot you're about to attack has armor protecting it. Which means my machine gets an extra point, giving it a total of 2 combat power points. If we compare the combat power of both machines, you'll see that you won't be able to do any damage. Whenever you're unable to top an opponent's combat power, you can still choose to attack and break their machine's defenses instead. Go ahead, try it out and see what happens. See? When you break a machine's defenses, you can knock it backwards. Sure, both our machines will receive 1 point of damage, but knocking my machine off that terrain makes it more vulnerable to attacks. Not only that, if my machine had been blocked from moving backwards, it would have received an extra point of damage. And if my machine had been blocked by another one of my pieces, that machine would have received damage as well. That's why breaking a machine's defenses is a great way to deal damage to several pieces at once. Useful, right? Okay, now go ahead and end your turn. There's still one more thing I want to show you. All right, as we've seen, the higher the terrain, the more it'll add to your machine's combat power. However, there are 2 other terrains that work a little differently. This is what we call a chasm. Only flying machines can be placed on those. But it'll take away 2 combat points if you do, so be wary. This is marsh terrain. Landing on it will take away 1 combat power point from most machines. It'll also keep your machine from moving for the rest of the turn. Here, let me show you. Grab that machine on your left. See? All you can do now is wait for your next turn to move again. Or you can overcharge your machine to get out of there. You can still attack any nearby enemies so you're not completely helpless. Well, I think that's enough yammering for me for now. Promise it'll all come in handy next time you play. Here for more tips? Why don't I tell you a bit more about the pieces we used to play? In a normal game, you get to choose which machines you place on the board. Each one is worth a certain number of setup points, and you can spend up to 10 assembling your army. Knowing what each machine brings to the game and building an army that matches your strategy is the key to becoming a machine strike master. When assembling your army, there are a few things to keep in mind. First and foremost, you can never have more than 4 of the same machine on the board at the same time. With that in mind, most players would choose machines based on how far they can move or how much attack power they have. But a real strike player will be looking at a machine's type and skills. Let's take a quick look, shall we? Pick up that machine on your left. All right, let's talk about the different ways in which a machine attacks its opponents. In other words, its machine type. If you look at your notes, you'll see this machine here is a melee type. You can also tell by the shape of the base the piece stands on. A melee type machine attacks the first enemy within range, and no one else. We've seen this plenty of times, so just move that piece forward so I can show you some more stuff. Great, now grab your other machine. Looks like we've got ourselves a gunner type machine here. This means they'll only hit the farthest enemy in their attack range. Let's move that machine forward and end your turn so we can take a look at the rest of the pieces. Let's go with this piece first. This is a ram-type machine. Attack an enemy with it, and it'll push the piece backwards. Like this. See, now my machine has taken over your machine's spot on the board. This is a great way to take the advantage away from your opponent if they have the higher ground. Looks like we have one more piece to look at. Now this is a beauty of a piece, a dash-type machine. When it attacks, it'll move to the end of its attack range and damage every machine in its path, including your own. So make sure you take a good look at the board before you send it off to the races. You should also make sure it's able to finish its attack on an empty spot. Otherwise, you won't be able to attack at all. Here, I'll show you. Look, it even rotated your piece. A nifty little piece you'll definitely want in your set. If you look at your notes, you'll notice this particular machine has one of the skills I mentioned before. There's quite a few of those, and we haven't even looked at all the machine types yet. But I'm pretty sure you've got more important things to do, so I made you a list. It's got all the tips and tricks we talked about, too. I think that about does it for now, so if you want to play a real game, just let me know.
Might do one real game.
Let's do this! My turn. Your turn. I'm up. One less piece on the board. Ah, looks like I lost. Good luck. That's it for me. Time to get serious. Knocked right off the board.
Oops.
Off the board it goes.
Weak from the sides.
Time to make my move. Board's all yours. Okay, Your move, Red. I'm up. That was brutal. You're up, Red. Well, that's done now. Oh, seriously? Just one piece left. That sure dampens the forge. Okay, let's see. Your turn. Time to get serious.
Oh.
I won! Oh, but I'll play you again if you want.
That was annoying. I didn't want to go there, but I had to because I couldn't just end my bloody turn.
Let's play.
Which is silly. You should be able to end your turn whenever you want. You shouldn't be forced into playing certain moves. But I was forced into it.
That's it for me. Time to make my move. Board's all yours. One less piece on the board. My turn.
Thought that would happen.
Knocked right off the board.
Trying to bait me to go there to attack. But it will knock it back, won't it? But then I'm still vulnerable.
Well, that's done now. Time to get serious.
Yep.
Your move, Red. I was hoping you wouldn't do that.
Why can't I attack? Because it has the high ground? I suppose so.
My turn. That was brutal. Looks
What?
like you're down to one piece.
Oh, overcharged.
Off the board it goes. Now that was a game, even if I lost.
Alright everyone, I'm going to end it
Come
there.
back anytime, Ray.
So I am going to head off now. So thanks for tuning in. Hope you guys enjoyed that and found it helpful perhaps. If you guys did, you know what to do. Hit that follow button, all that good stuff. Go to check out my YouTube channel by following the link underneath the live stream panel and the description of the video. All my videos. As well as if you're on my YouTube channel, there should be the links in the description of the videos and a link in the channel banner. And if you guys like what you see on my channel, then hit that subscribe button. It would mean a hell of a lot to me and I very much appreciate it. As always, I hope you're all having a great day or a great night, and peace out.